What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be doing something mission critical for the drift truck, and that is of course squaring out the cab. Unfortunately, when I picked this up, the only structure that was in this entire vehicle was that piece of angle iron on the passenger side door. Nothing even on the driver's side. Nothing going across, nothing preventing this truck from flexing, twisting, or doing anything else. And unfortunately, that causes all kinds of problems. Now, one of the reasons why the frame is not sitting level is because until I get even the channeling verified, I really can't trust anything. Something I learned with the satellite was, even if like everything is said and done, never trust anything is done right. Always verify. So, first things first, verify how square this vehicle is. I do have a few things taken care of on this, including the rocker panel underneath the door is taken care of. That will at least kind of give me a reference, although the rocker panel does need to be replaced. It is pretty bad, but the distance between the two at least gives me an idea where the door is supposed to be. And I'm trying to get the body lines all correct all throughout. I'll start measuring cross, back, forth, everything. And we'll get this all welded up and make it so that it is totally stiff. After we do that, we'll verify all of the channeling is done correctly, and as long as that's taken care of, then we'll go ahead and start welding in all of the holes that are in the frame and in the cab of the vehicle, including, and I really want to know what this was at one point. I wonder if this was like a tow truck or something, because it definitely had lights going across the top of it, or something going across, horns, no idea. But we'll go ahead and we'll weld those closed and give them a little bit of tap to make them a little bit flush. So there's nothing to it but to do it. We actually got pretty lucky. If we look right here, I found, I would hesitate to call them blueprints, but I found dimensions from everything from the cowl to the actual body of the vehicle, how wide everything is supposed to be. And that's going to save us quite a bit of heartache right there. So I can get really accurate numbers, fairly accurate numbers. All right, let's go ahead and use those measurements to get it correct. Start on this side, and we'll do that by taking that off and then just opening this door. Like so. Now, according to that drawing, it's pretty straight all the way through here, and we are looking at, from opening to opening, 34 inches, and we are at about 34 and a half. So we're about a ½ inch off here. And okay, it does seem like it narrows a bit. All right, I was kind of hoping it'd be a little bit straighter, but we're about a ½ inch too far out here. And I'm assuming we have a little bit of a warping going with this whole thing. So we're going to start on that side, and then we'll get to this side. I was just curious. Now this side, it is really, I need new hinges on this door. As soon as I start taking this C-clamp off, you see how much she sags. That's probably due to, you know, one, bad hinges, and two, just how long it was sitting all warped and everything. So we'll let this sit out of the way for a second. And with the rocker panel on the bottom, this side is sitting at just about, trying to get that level here, about 34 there. We get down to here, about 34 and a quarter. You can see, get you off this tripod for a second. You can see that the rocker panel is bent right here, which I figured it was maybe meant to be, but with how far out it is, I'm assuming it's not. So I will go grab my, what do you call it, the large pipe clamps, and we'll start to kind of work on this thing. Now, using the very limited numbers we have, we actually were able to get it so that the body line isn't perfect, but it's a whole lot better. Mostly just using a couple clamps and one inside. So now I got to go ahead. It still kind of kicks in a little bit, but I almost wonder if that's just because, you know, with it being dragged or something at one point, maybe the bottom got, you know, a little kicked in. I'm able to push it out a little bit. So I'm more more interested in getting this thing square. So next thing, I want to go and cut a piece of this square stock right here. And you know what, I might not use that. I might use this rectangular hardcore stuff that I have, and maybe I might have something else I can use, I don't know. But we got to go ahead and put a bracket across there so that she doesn't want to go anywhere. Once I have a bracket across there, then we can go ahead and start measuring distances from there to there, and then get something across, which we might use the square stock for, and you know, just keep plowing through this thing. What do you think, guys? Does that pass the sniff test a bit? Just getting much better. Anyways, we got to go ahead and do the same thing on the opposing side and get a couple pieces of metal across, and then I'll probably put a few other pieces in. I just want this thing to be nice and sturdy. Once we get everything welded in here and it's all 100% beautiful, then we can really take a look at putting the roll cage in. Oh, I wonder what this thing is. I know that goes on the outside and there's like a little, I don't know. If you guys know what this is this like a drainage thing? Oh, it must be a drainage thing. Look at that. Huh. I don't know, guys. Sir, I open this up. There we go. Yeah, it is a drainage thing. Okay, that's neat. Oh, I'll be... Yeah, cool. All right, we're gonna also lower that down so I don't have to like step in and out as crazily. We need to get new hinges for this so that we can get this not to sag as much. And oh yeah, we have a lot of parts we need. It really sucks that they cut those out. I don't know, like why? Why would you cut those out? I understand if you had cut it down here, but just don't know why people do certain things. We are also going to go ahead and run a light weld through here. I just don't want this thing separating. I don't want it flexing apart. It seems like it would be a terrifying event. Anyways. All right, let's get back to it. And Stephanie's over there. You can kind of see the hat bobbing away over there. Anyways, she loves this stuff just as much as I do. I don't know how I never noticed that this is a Viking, which is, I've never heard of that as a truck, but it is super cool and super sketchy the way it is sitting. Anyways, what we're doing here is the diagrams that I found. I won't call them blueprints. Only gives me a measurement from right about here and here, and they actually said 34, but I could not get it to fit 34, so I figured it would come back down here and get real numbers. Sorry, this thing is not cooperating. Okay, so I got 34 1/4 at the house, and that's what I'm getting right here is 34 1/4. And the next big part was from right at this bump to that bump right there. We are looking at You just go ahead, and I'm gonna have to just read it off to you. We are at 32 1/4 from that part of there to this part right here. And then we need to go from right here. I'm gonna go from this little screw to the screw on the opposing side. That way we have something to work with when we get back to the house. And fortunately, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that I found these trucks here, I would not be able to get measurements. So big shout out to Adler. He has a great location here and a lot of cool parts, pieces. So this right here is about, oh, come on, stay straight, will you? There we go, close enough. 41 1/4. And I can't do that over here because, believe it or not, this is where your fuel tank would have sat. We are not going to repeat that. Matter of fact, like I was saying, our old section of cab quarter we're going to cut off and then weld in a patch right there out of it, and we're going to put our new cab corners on it. But at some point, one of these trucks actually has a dashboard I want. It's about $350 and it's not really in the best of condition, so we'll see how much money we have kicking around. We have a lot of other little things I'd like to see, what do you call them, locking mechanisms and stuff like that. I would really like to pick up from them at some point. So, you know, all comes with, you know, money. This one actually is a 30s. Oh, you know what, it did not, I don't like leaving it like that. Come on, close, will you? Oh, now she won't close. Give me a sec. Ah, got it. So one thing that would be kind of nice to get, but we're going to end up making out of pipe, is these pieces right here. But yeah, we're not going to use those. So can't use this one as a measuring spot. This one is a 30. I think it's a 30 because it doesn't have the bump outs like that. And I am not going to have any. Oh, this one still has the fuel tank. I'm not going to get any better on this one. I thought I'd be able to sneak inside there with the tape measure, but I can't. That one still has the tank. That one still has the tank. I think our best option might be to, this one has been hit, so I don't trust that one. That one's full of crap. Oh. You know what we'll do? So we have these right here, we have these right here, and we have this right here. We'll then measure there to there and there to there, and we'll find ourselves a square from that. You know, this one actually has a pretty complete roof. I would stand on the, oh yeah, I can stand on this. She's just dented, so never mind. Oh man. All right, I'm just gonna kind of take a walk around. So I actually just stumbled upon this beauty, and I talked to Bob about it, and I was curious to see what he was, you know, what was going on with this. Not something I can afford. I don't know exactly how much he wants for it, but it's way too nice for me. You can see that it's already been gone through a bit, has some repairs, and he was saying that the paint is just to protect it, but he's got a lot of bits and pieces, and it's all in pretty decent shape. So if you're looking for, I think he said this was a 1940. If you're looking for a 1940, he has the fenders and stuff in the house. He has a grill for it and everything. It's nice enough that he says it's in his house. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice cab, this is in really good shape, guys. I'll leave his information, or if I forget to put the information, if you're interested in this thing and you want to get a hold of Bob, you want to come take a look at it, email me and I'll give you his information. Like, it's not perfect and it definitely needs continuing work to it, but it's a really good foundation for someone that's either building a hot rod, you know, a restoration, or I think it's too nice for a rat rod, but you know, let me know. All right guys, we're back from Adler's, and now we can go ahead and take our measurements and measure where we stand with all of this. Now, one thing I do want to point out is I was Wheelwright actually reached out to me, and he has a bunch of parts for even up here. So we'll be able to repair this door and the upper part of the window up here. I think I already said that. Anyways, I didn't know about this, so that's great. Anyways, most important, I already found hinges. I'm gonna have to order them online. I would have ordered them if I had realized or remembered that I needed them. So we're gonna go from right here to right here, and we're at 32 1/4. So this line, this door is perfect on this side now. Well, the door opening, not the door. That door is pretty rough. This side, actually the door on this side's in a lot better shape all around. Not only around the glass, but the bottom of the door. So we don't have a lot of repairs on this. And like I was showing, Adler's has a few of these. I'm gonna see how much he wants for these. And if he has maybe a little bit better handle. I know it's gonna be a rat rod, but you know, if we can have some nicer things, so that's always nice. Nicer things is always nice. And this is 32 1/4. So we are all set. Now I just got to get in the other side and weld our piece of steel across there. And then we come back to this side. Unfortunately, I can't measure from here to here because I couldn't get a good measurement. But you can see, oh, that's something I didn't think of. The screw that I'm measuring from is actually down below. So I will have to see what I can do about measuring from point A to point B. All right, give me a minute. So the only option I really had was measuring from where the screw was to the outside of the frame rail, from the outside to the outside, and from the outside to the other screw, and we come out to being 41 and just a hair under an eighth. So I think we're golden. We just have to go ahead and weld this section here, put a couple things across, and I'll put an X inside there, and we'll have a nice solid thing to work with, and then we can move on. We have to plug all these holes because when I'm driving down the road, I don't want to have rain coming flying through these holes. That would be terrible. Very unfortunate. All right, let's get the welder back out. Now that we have 2/3 of the structure needed, once again, you don't have to do this if, like, as far as measuring out things, if you do the structure before you take the floor out. But if you take the floor out and you don't put structure in it, this thing becomes as floppy as a noodle. And you don't want a noodle. So we need to get that length right there. We're gonna do an X across the bottom. I don't want this thing ever to move again. We have this all nice and welded up. Not going anywhere, guys. So, and I know I'm gonna make some people mad by saying I'm not gonna have the cab detachable from the body, or the cab detachable from the frame. It's gonna be like a hybrid between, oh, you know, for example, if you look at a lot of the, oh, I forgot to roll up the windows. A lot of the satellites or B-bodies, anything where they go over to the unibody, they put a piece of, you know, like an extension of the frame from the front frame rail to the rear frame rail, and they go in there. It's kind of the same concept, just I guess backwards. I don't know. We're welding the body to the frame. So, and I already had, like, you can't convince me otherwise. Insanity. You have to also think we're going to cut a lot of this firewall out, and that's kind of like an integral structure of it. I don't want to cut this firewall out. It's such a perfect firewall. There's like, it's in fantastic shape, but we gotta fit Cummins in here, and that's about the only way I'm figuring we're gonna do it. Maybe, we'll see. You know, it's mostly because of the transmit. I am rambling. Anywho, let's get back to work. Well guys, we have it completely square, and just look at that. So what I have done is, obviously we did that in the sides right here before. I cut a piece once I had it where I was happy. I put it right on in there, gave her a few good welds all the way around, and then I put a brace going this way and that way, and I think that's all we're going to really need. Now I reinforced our corners, not that I thought we would have an issue, but I figured what the heck, why not? Now that is one sturdy cab. Now I won't have to worry about any real issues with the whole thing flexing. I would like to go ahead and brace the back of this. I think I might have a piece of, I do actually. I'm not going to do it today because it is kind of getting a little bit on the later side. But yeah, I think this little piece right here might work across the back of it. But I think we're going to have to go a little bit bigger. And I would like to go from one side here all the way around and do one band, so it stays nice and stable over, you know, whatever we're doing. And like I was saying, I would like to, when everything's happy, go through and put a few welds just on the seam on the inside, right where you shouldn't see it, but where these two pieces of steel meet, just for a little added, you know, security. But today's mission was to square out this cab, and now we have a very good base inside here. The vehicle is much better, and this gap is nowhere near as bad as what it was. In fact, it is the same gap now as the truck down at Adler. So this side, unfortunately, we can't just shut the door that easily, or we can, just not. Yeah, she needs new hinges. So as you can see, it's not the cab that's catawonkus here. It is the hinge. These hinges are just how much movement you have in them. So new hinges, and then she's a lot better. Once the hinges go there, that door will be much better. I'm looking forward to stopping by that place so we can go ahead and repair that section. I don't know if he has any pieces for here, but we can figure something out. He has a lot for fixing through here, and this would be nice to fix. So these should be here this week. I still haven't been charged for them, and it's been a few days, so I don't know what's going on with them. Anyways, I would say all in all, a very successful day. I am very... All right, I was excited about this project, but boy, oh, this thing is going to be ridiculous. So I'm going to pose a question. I was doing questions a long time ago on every single video, but in this video, I'm actually going to ask, would you guys prefer that I do more of a day-to-day update when I have time to work on this? There's going to be a lot of little things that I got to do. If you're interested in that type of content, I can do day-to-day and then do a synopsis later on. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. From now on, for this video or this project, because, once again, a lot of little tedious things, I'm going to do a day-to-day, what we're working on, you know, get progress and stuff like that. And then at some point, we'll do a full, you know, when we finish one huge section, we'll do a synopsis, what we did, for people that don't want to go through the shorter format. But I'm it's been a long day, guys. I had to drive all the way out to Adler, so, you know, long day, but a very successful day. I'm very happy that we now have a stable cab. All right, guys, on that, tomorrow I'll start plugging all the holes and keep moving forward. Till the next time, remember, keep your shiny side up and hit that subscribe button, please. It helps the channel a lot. I do very much appreciate you all, and have a wonderful night.